Someone you love very much is about to die. Could you please introduce us to your character?
My name is Hallandil Fang. I am a older, dark-haired with streaks of white orc gentleman. Fairly fine but not ostentatious clothing. And has smile lines at the eyes from a life well lived. Trying in this moment to hold on to the spirit that has buoyed him through his life. Maybe not doing as well as he'd like to in this moment.
This moment, you stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of the city of Dolmakyar. Its gray stone standing proud here at the eastern edge of the land known as Kahad. You stand under the guardian wall. Heroes of the Shaper's War, carved in statue, some 80 feet tall, their torsos emerging from masonry, from the rock and stone of the mountainside, lean and hold the mountains of Kavroset Bay, rendered here as heroes of a revolution, now fading from memory. You see a flight of magpies, black wings, white breasts take to the sky, flying over the stream as the mist rises on this gray day. The days have been mostly gray recently, and it is here, under the guardian wall, that they have strung up the hangman's noose to kill your brother, Thiazi Fang. For the amount of soldiers marching this man to the gallows. But it is just one man, waiting at the steps, his eyes on the approaching wagon.
Azune Nayar stands tall, proud. Human in appearance, he is just over 5'10", but gives the presence of someone that's taller than that. His pride carries him above his height. The birthmark that goes up the right side of his neck, up his face, and up to his forehead around his eye. His eyes look like a sunset on an ocean. His arms are exposed. Along his right bicep are tattooed the words, "Have mercy on those I send you."
The door to the wagon opens. Soldiers of House Taconis retrieve a figure from inside the shadows. A handsome orc, smile across his fanged face, nice shiner indicating some degree of glibness or flippancy in the face of these guards. The man you followed into battle all those years ago, dragged forward here. He looks up at you as he approaches. Not you. Anybody but you.
I put my hand up to stop the rest of the soldiers. I am the Arcane Marshal assigned to scan the prisoner. And I begin a ritual. My palm is facing up, and I start to trace a circle around my palm as I begin a ritual of detect magic. But as I do that, I point my fingers towards him, and I actually cast message.
Hidden from those guards here, not versed in the arcane, you feel yourself connect through this act of sorcery to Thiazi Fang.
Thiazi, I can buy us a few moments. If you have something that you want to say to someone and want me to pass it to them, now is the time.
As you feel this spell connect to you, he smiles and goes, "Anything I have to tell anybody, I can tell them myself."
You can notice that look in his eyes, that glint. In a moment, I'm going to scan you to see if I can pick up any arcane residue, and my hope is that I do. Earlier today, somebody placed an object on you, a ward. Watch me closely when I'm done. If I sense it, I'll give you a nod, and then I'll gesture to let you know where it is. It's delicate, it breaks easy, and upon adding just a little bit of pressure, it will be the very thing that sends you away from here.
Understood.
One last thing. A message from your brother. Hal says he's here with you until the end. And you've always been a hero in his eyes.
Well, that makes one of us. I don't know that I'll be able to see him again after today, probably. Right? I mean, you guys getting me out of here, I'm not going to be able to.
Tiazi, you've lit many fires throughout your years, and they all still burn. And with that, instead of casting the ritual, I'm actually going to use a spell slot and cast Detect Magic in that moment. An updraft of wind moves up towards me, a pulse radiates out, and Detect Magic, scan him.
A gleam of magic hidden in the back of his coat, quite near his manacled hands, registers to you. A little bit of conjuration, a little bit of illusion, just enough trickery for Thiazi Fang to make one last daring getaway.
I give him a nod, and I turn around and I put my hand on the small of my back so he can see me indicate where it is.
He nods to you, and in that last moment of the message cantrip, he makes eye contact with you and says, I know you'll have to stay here. I'm sorry for all the distance I kept. I hope all those fires I set were worth it. Make sure you set some of your own when the time comes. He walks up to the gallows, a spring in his step. The crowd seeing him for the first time. From many parts of the crowd, a cheer goes up. The lords and ladies of the sundered houses, anticipating this moment, strike up the trumpets, attempting to quiet this noise. You see your brother, and you see him looking throughout a crowd of several hundred people looking for you.
Raise an arm to the air.
He nods to you.
Herein, sentenced to death by the authority of the Chamber of Lords Advisory to the Revolutionary Council, is the traitor, arcanist, and murderer Thiazi Fang to be put to death. His crimes enumerated: befouling arcanism, theft, skullduggery, murder, and sedition against the beneficence of the city and its peoples. At this last accusation, a murmur moves through the crowd. Another voice stands, this one from an elderly woman dressed in white. Let the light shine, and let peace be restored. As she continues to speak in this moment, Thiazi turns to you. Hal.
Anxiety rising in my gut. I'm severely tempted to dart my eyes around this open space looking for any hand to intervene, to see any result of all of the beseeching and deal-making I have been making behind the scenes for weeks. For someone whose life has been all about words, I have none to give.
He looks at you smiling, shakes his head no. And at this distance, you can't hear him over the speech, but you see him mouthing the words to you in this moment of desperation. So many strings were pulled. Something's got to happen. This can't be. He looks at you and goes, mouthing, just so you can read his lips. What are you doing for lunch after this? What, you didn't plan a funeral? Don't you like me at all? If I don't see you for a long time, you're my hero. And his eyes dart up to the sky. I'd like you to make an insight check for me.
Natural 20.
In this moment, on a nat 20, you look and see his eyes, and I think your bardic magic swells, and you connect through him and can hear his voice. He looks up and you see reflected in his eyes, distant. You can't see it from where you are in the crowd looking up. All of the people of Dolmaki are gathered here in this place. Skyboxes filled with nobles looking out over balconies from the higher level near the shoulders of the mighty statues. You look and he sees something in the sky, and his face changes. There's panic. On a nat 20, the residue of Azune's message cantrip comes to you, and I will allow you to speak mentally to your brother in this moment on that nat 20 as he looks out and sees something and panics. He goes, no. He looks at you. You have to...
Tell me what to do.
Murray, you gotta help Murray. The Penteveral, you have to help her. There's paint waiting for you with Bolaire. I can't, you hear the voice from the dais say, have you any last words? The Azi Fang. He looks up, realizing that he can't speak telepathically to you while he's in this moment before they pull the lever. He looks out at you and goes, speaking to the crowd. The false authority that now condemns me to death will fall. I regret only that I will miss the glorious celebration when your calumny and destruction comes to an end. He looks to you and in his mind says, tell Thimble not to be scared. He looks out and says, I can still hear the falcon's cry. The lever is pulled. In your mind, he says, tell her that the rope goes taut, snap. And what is to come after, we will discover in this first episode of Campaign 4 of Critical Role.